Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Southeastern High School in Augusta, Illinois, as it's Southeastern Suns varsity basketball against the Illini West Chargers. These two teams met last week with the Suns getting a win and a dominant third quarter, thanks in large part to a trio, or actually a quartet of three-pointers by Griffin Tippie on a Wednesday night, if my memory serves me correctly. Maybe it was Monday night. It was Monday night. So the Chargers and the Suns going to tie it back up here and see what happens in a rematch from the Hancock County tournament last week. Both games played here on the floor at Augusta, Illinois Southeastern High School, as we're going to be ready for the national anthem here, and I think the pep band will play it, so we'll let you hear that, as I am right here on the stage with the pep band, so we'll let you hear that as we get ready to go with tonight's festivities. And again, that was the Southeastern High School pep band with the national anthem tonight. They're right here on a stage with us. Nothing better than high school basketball with the pep band, folks. I don't care who you are. You got to love that. Now the starters for the two teams. For the Illini West Chargers and the Southeastern Suns, they'll start off with the starting lineup for the Chargers. Be number 2, Colby Robertson. Number 11, Drake Mudd. Number 14, Nolan Dietrich. Number 21, Reese Shoup. And number 35, Gannon Bergman will be the starters. Nothing changed there for the Chargers of Illini West High School. As the Southeastern cheerleaders getting ready to do their intro for the boys team as we get ready for the Southeastern Suns starting lineups now here at Southeastern High School in Augusta, Illinois. As we are about ready to go here, a couple of Hancock County rivals going head to head. It's kind of funny because these two teams played last week during the Hancock County tournament. It's funny how scheduling works, and we had wanted to do the Hancock County or the West Hancock game tonight. We were going to do a couple more of those before the end of the year. At least that's the plan. Just had too many things going on tonight to be able to get over there. But at any rate, they were playing Unity, who was also in the Hancock County tournament last week. So both these games tonight for the 4 schools were playing people they played last week. It's just funny how scheduling works out that way sometimes. And it is time for the starting lineups. Griffin Tippie, who didn't play a whole lot in the fresh soft game. Owen Rigg. Carter Hitz, number 13. Number 24, Mason Fry. And the key to the team for Southeastern, the Missouri commit, number 23, Danny Stevens. Griffin Tippie was not in the starting lineup until At least I don't think he was. He wasn't the night that we were here. As he used that, propelled himself to the starting lineup with that 4 3-pointer game against Illini West, and we are ready to go here. Game is underway. First quarter action, and the Suns win the tip. Mason Fry with it. Right side's going to come up to Owen Riggs. 7:50 remaining in the opening quarter, and we are just underway here at Southeastern High School in Augusta, Illinois. A pair of Hancock County school teams going at it. Guys know each other very, very well. They've seen each other since they were youngsters. Owen Rigg down the corner. Griffin Tippy, baseline jumper off, no good. Bergman with the rebound over Mason Fry, and it'll come back our direction. Chargers going right to left on your TV screen. Suns will be going left to right here in the first half. Tip away. Bergman's going to track it down, though, as Tippy got a hand on it and tipped it away. Dietrich now with it. It's going to come near side to Robertson. Colby Robertson did not play in the last contest between these two teams. Robertson back to Shoup. Shoup now to Dietrich for 3. He's deadly from outside, and he nailed that one. He gets the first points of the game, and it's a 3 for Nolan Dietrich. And you're not going to find much better shooters in the area, folks, than Nolan Dietrich. He can flat shoot the lights out, especially when he's on. When he's on, he'll shoot NBA range threes and drain them. Down low into Stevens. He puts the shot up. He got too far under the basket, hit the bottom of the board, but got his own rebound and put it back in. He's got his first 2, and it's 3-2. Suns trailing by 1 here early in the first quarter. 6:30 remaining. As I started to say that. It was under 6:30 before I got done. Dietrich with it, picked up by Owen Rigg. Out to Robertson. Robertson likes to drive. He's very handsy, very active defensively. He'll get up in your mug, and not too unlike Owen Rigg, who comes up and picks up his first foul right there. Team's first as well. First foul of the game goes to Southeastern. 6:15 remaining here in the first quarter. Coach Ufkus out on the floor talking to Griffin Tippy, I do believe. Nolan Dietrich goes over to Robertson. Robertson tries to drive on Tippy, can't find anywhere to go. Shoup with it now as they switch. Tippy takes Shoup. Shoup could have maybe went to the rack, but Danny Stevens was waiting down there for him as Bergman just kind of camped out at the block, allowing Danny Stevens to really play some middle ground here and just play a basket defender. Not a whole lot, as long as they stay with him down low and not moving. Stevens is able to be a basket defender for sure. Now Bergman is outside the arc, and that opened up the middle, but Stevens gets the steal. And a foul is going to be called. I don't know if it's going to be on Bergman or Mudd. I think they're going to call it on Mudd. They are. The reach on Mudd. Drake Mudd picks up his first, team's first. 3-2 is the score. 5:34 to go in the first quarter. Owen Rigg from one side of the scoring table to the other. The scoring table is literally right at the side of the court pretty much here at Southeastern, so they do not allow them to inbound from there because they would be committing a violation by stepping on the court as inbounding. Fry with it, left side. Tippy looks at the 3, doesn't take it. Goes down to Carter Hitz. Hartz hits out to, now back down to Hitz again. He had a chance to put it up. Turnaround jumper, fadeaway, counted, and a foul for Carter Hitz. Suns take the lead for the first time at 4-2. Foul's going to be on number 14, Nolan Dietrich, his first. See if it is Nolan Dietrich, his first, team's second. And an old-fashioned three-point play attempt coming for Carter Hitz, and he hits it. .505 to go, and a steal by Griffin Tippy. He gives it to Stevens, who goes down to Rigg. Rigg now dribbles across the baseline, sets up the offense for the Suns. Brings it all the way back out with 4:55 to go. Over to Mason Fry. He's at the 10-foot line. Now Tippy, wide open 3. Good from the left side for Griffin Tippy. Griffin Tippy gets his first 3, and the Suns lead 8-3. Nolan Dietrich hit the first bucket of the night to give the Chargers a 3-0 lead, but it's been all Suns since then. An 8-0 run for the Suns. Mudd's going to try to answer with a three of his own, and he does. Drake Mudd answers with a triple for the Chargers, and Coach Ufkus wants a 30-second timeout. We'll take a quick break as well, and we'll be back on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH in just a few seconds.
I see acute injuries on the field. I see ankle sprains. I see ACL knee injuries, as well as in the clinic. It's very rewarding to see them from on-the-field injury to rehab to transition back to their event.
And welcome back to Southeastern High School. I want to say hi to Jason Arthur, always watching us. We appreciate that. And Highland is still here cheering on the Suns tonight. Well, we appreciate you doing that, Ann. Ann was the only one nice enough to hop into JV chat when we were having those problems, and she hopped in there in the second half, so I appreciate that greatly, Ann. This game seems to be going much better. If you see anything wrong, folks, let us know. If it's not good quality or the audio sounds different or something, just hop in there, let us know. If you're just here watching a game from somewhere, is Stone King. Tippy's going to try the three. It's in and out, no good. Stevens with a rebound. Out to Stone King for three. It's partially blocked, I think. It's off, no good. And Tippy and Hits fight over it. And Stone King missed just off right a smidge. 4:05 remaining in the first quarter. 8-6 the score. Down corner, wide open three. Shoop nails it. So the Chargers with 9 points, all from behind the arc and all from different players. It's 9-8. The Chargers have answered with a 6-0 run of their own. Stone King. 2 hits. Rigg looks at the three, doesn't take it. Steps back, goes down to Stevens. Stevens goes to the rack. His shot's short again. Rebound is going to go off of Tippy again, out of bounds, and that was Tippy fighting for the rebound, and it just went off of him. Mason Fry is going to check back in. Austin Stone King goes out. Realized he had his necklace on. Nobody said anything. The officials weren't paying attention, didn't catch that necklace out there. Forker's standing right in front of me. I thought maybe he'd hear me, but he's just ignoring me like everybody else does. Pastor Tom is in the chat as well. Shoop, getting a little hip check from Rigg. Now Robertson. Dietrich for three. It's good. 12 points, all from behind the arc. 6 points for Dietrich. And the Suns lead 12-8. They've went on a 9-0 run. It's a game of runs here for these two teams. It was 3-0, then it was an 8-0 run for the Suns. Now it's a 9-0 run for the Chargers, and it's 12-8, 2:59 to go in the first quarter. Thanks for joining us, Pastor Tom. Mason Fry with it. He's going to give it to Owen Rigg, and he's going to have it tipped away. A lackadaisical pass. Robertson tracks it down and gets there just in time to put a layup up, and Rigg is going to pick up his second foul. Team second. Aiden Akers is going to check in. 2 free throws coming for Colby Robertson. He's going to break the streak here if he can. It'll be the first point not scored from behind the arc, and he hits it and ends that streak right there. Is, however, making it a 10-0 run for the Chargers. Stone King and Akers in for the Suns. Hits, and Owen Rigg takes a seat for the Suns. Robertson's second free throw is short. It's actually an air ball. Didn't even get rim, and it'll be possession to the Suns. Stone King now is going to bring it up the floor as Robertson's was guarding. And now it's the 1-3-1. We saw some trouble for the Suns in that, or against, might have been Illini West, actually. Now that shot was by Akers, off, no good, and it's going to be, hey, there's some evasive maneuvers by the Southeastern cheerleaders right there. Wiping a brow to make sure glad Akers didn't run him over. A couple of them just went one right, one left, and Akers went right in between them. Good moving. Good footwork there for those ladies. It's 13-8. Steal by Tippy. Tippy had Stone King. Now it's going to go to Stevens. Stevens' left-handed layup is good. Breaks the 10-0 run for the Chargers and cuts the lead to 3, 13-10 with 2:15 remaining in the first quarter. Up top, Drake Mudd with it. He's got 1 3 on the night. Gives it to Bergman. Back to Mudd. Mason Fry all over Mudd. No foul call, but Robertson with it now as they set up the offense with 2 minutes remaining in the quarter. Dietrich down to Bergman. Bergman is going to get fouled, but it was on the floor. Griffin Tippy is going to pick up the foul. That'll be his first, team's third. Kaltenbach going to check in, possibly for Tippy here. Nope, Mason Fry. Kaltenbach checking in for Mason Fry. 1:56 remaining in the first quarter. Dietrich on the inbound, up to Shoup. Now Robertson looks at 3, drives baseline, gives it to Bergman. Bergman has it knocked away by Tippy. Out of bounds. It'll stay with the Chargers underneath their own basket. 1:51 to go in the quarter. Robertson trying to find somewhere to get in. Gets it into Drake Mudd around Kaltenbach. Dietrich with it up top, 1:45 remaining. So again, live chat's open. Hop in there and let us know where you're cheering from and who you're cheering for. That goes for either school. Get a lot of Illini West fans hopping in the chat on the regular. Still waiting for Chase Mudd to tell me whether he passed that Spanish test or not last week or a couple weeks ago. 3 on the way for Shoup. It's good. He hits his second triple. He's got 6 points. Down low, it goes to Tippy, out to Akers. They back off him, almost daring him to shoot the triple. He doesn't do it. Stone King with it. On the dribble, skips it across to Akers. Down low to Tippy. Tippy down to Stevens. Stevens, 1 bounce and a step and a bucket for Danny Stevens. Danny Stevens has 4. And Aiden Akers is going to get called for the foul. I think that they just got their feet tangled, in all honesty, but Akers is going to pick up the foul, his first, team's 4th. 45 seconds exactly remaining in the first quarter. Owen Rigg is going to check back in for Griffin Tippy. Owen checking back in with 2 fouls. Tippy will take a seat with 1 foul with 45 seconds remaining in the quarter. Inbound to Shoup. Dietrich dumps out Drake Mudd, same spot as the last time he hit the triple. Didn't make that one fall, though. Ball's tipped right to Stevens, and Stevens pushes it back the other way for the Suns. Dietrich tries to cut him off. Stevens leans in, misses the shot, puts the tip back up and in. He's got 6. 16-14. 2-point lead, 15 seconds remaining, and the Chargers holding for 1 shot here. Looking for the end of the first quarter if they can get there. Dietrich with it with 7 seconds remaining. 5 seconds, 4 seconds. Robertson now dumps it in the corner. 3 on the way for Shoup. He nailed it at the buzzer. Shoup hits another triple. That's his 3rd of the quarter. He's got 9, and the Chargers lead by 5, 19-14 at the end of quarter number 1. We'll take a break, and we'll be back on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH, in just about 30 seconds.
I went through MDH when we were trying to get pregnant. We were struggling the first year, and then when we got pregnant, I stayed at MDH and through labor and now for pediatrics. My experience was nothing short of phenomenal. I was met with amazing staff members who helped me through concerns that I had when she was first born, helping me learn how to be a new mom. It was really reassuring and comforting knowing that I had so much support and kindness around me. My entire pregnancy at MDH was amazing.
And welcome back to Southeastern High School in Augusta, Illinois. I'm Dwayne Hulett. Evan Wagner on the camera tonight. Thanks for joining us for this varsity contest. The Chargers lead 19-14 over the Suns. Points thus far after 1 quarter of play. Reese Shoup leads the way. He's got 3 3-pointers in the first quarter, 9 points to lead all scores. 2 threes for Nolan Dietrich. He's got 6. Drake Mudd has a triple for 3 points, and Colby Robertson is 1 for 2 from the free throw line. That makes 19 points in the quarter for the Chargers. For the Suns, 6 points for Danny Stevens, 3 points for Carter Hitz, and 3 points on a 3-pointer by Griffin Tippy. They have 14 points. Excuse me, I didn't mark down the last 2 points for Stevens, and another three. This time it's Nolan Dietrich. He's got 3 threes. As the Chargers opened a quarter just the way they left off. Fry with it, goes to Owen Rigg. Back to Fry, 7:22 remaining here, and it's the largest lead of the game at 8. As the pass inbound was taken away by Bergman, picked up by Dietrich as it was looking for Stevens down there. Now it's going to be Shoup out to Robertson. Robertson to Dietrich. Dietrich for 3! Way off that time. A heat check, as our friend here at TSSR, Luke Little, likes to say, and it was a little cold that time. That time, Stevens forced it a little. Oh, nice no-look pass, and Bergman's going to get the finish on a great pass from Robertson. And Bergman gets his first 2 of the night. 24-14. Chargers with the lead. Left side, Mason Fry now. Down in the corner, Griffin Tippie. He looks for the triple, doesn't take it, gives it back to Fry. Fry over to Owen Rigg. Owen Rigg backs it out. Goes in the corner, Griffin Tippie. 3, right corner, good for Griffin. Oh, it's a 2. They said his toe was on the line. It's a 2 for Griffin Tippie. He's got 5. Nolan Dietrich telling Drake Mudd to go and clear out. Everybody on the left side of the floor, the offensive right, but Dietrich then just passed it around, didn't do anything with it. I thought he was going to try to isolate Owen Rigg, who already has 3 fouls, but instead they go right side on the offense. Dumps it. Bergman, left elbow jumper, off no good. A rebound to Mason Fry, gives it to Stevens. Now to Rigg, and they'll walk it up the floor. Owen Rigg with the basketball. 5:43 remaining in the first half. I forgot to make it a second quarter. I apologize. There we go, second quarter. Carter Hitz is going to be fouled by Dietrich, I believe. If so, that'll be his second. It is on Nolan Dietrich. He'll pick up his second foul. Team foul number 3 for the Chargers. Carter Hitz is 1 for 1 from the free throw line, making 1 for 2 as he missed the front end of 2 there. Trying to get his team back in the ball game here. They trail by 8, 24-16. It was 19. Shot was off, no good. Stevens with the rebound. He's going to be fouled by Bergman, I believe. Bergman got the block, but a lot of body in there as well. It is going to be on Bergman. That'll be Bergman's first. Team's 4th. Danny Stevens shooting 2 free throws now. He's got 8 points. He hits the first. It was 19-14 at the end of the first quarter. Stevens shooting again here. Second one off to the left, bounces to the right. Bergman tracks down the rebound with 5:30 remaining. 24-17. Robertson gives it to Shoup. Mudd, Bergman on a give and go again. Mudd's going to drive. He loses the ball, gathers it. And Griffin Tippie went down and got it, but his shoulder was hitting the line just a smidge. The official was all over it. Turns it over to the Chargers. Nolan Dietrich will inbound. That was right down here in front of me. It was very close. I couldn't tell. Stone King's going to check in for the Suns. Griffin Tippie's going to take a seat. Mudd with it. Shoup. Bergman and Stevens battling hard. Pull-up jumper for Dietrich off no good. Stevens and Bergman fighting for the rebound. Stevens comes down with it, loses the basketball, and loses it right to Drake Mudd. Owen Rigg picked him up, but he got the ball to Dietrich, and with 4:35 remaining, Chargers with a 7-point lead in the basketball. Ian Bensinger, how are you, sir? Robertson with 2. As he drives in the lane and gets his first bucket. Three on the way by Stone King is short. Rebound to Drake Mudd. Mudd with it, 3:47 remaining. Carter hits with a steal. Shoop's going to track him down from behind. Tries the hack. It's enough to mess up the shot, and Carter Hitz can't finish the layup, and then Drake Mudd has it tipped away by Hitz out of bounds. It'll stay with the Chargers. Once again, thanks for joining us on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. Robertson with it again. Comes to Dietrich, well out past the 10-foot line at the circle. Shoop with it now, picked up by Kaltenbach, who's in the game for the Suns. He tries to drive. There to help is Stevens. Stevens is going to get it. He's going to have a dunk opportunity, and he throws one down for Danny Stevens. 11 points for Stevens. Timeout on the floor. Charge to the Chargers. It's a 30-second timeout. Both teams will have 4 timeouts remaining. Thank you for tuning in to TSSR Game Time Live, brought to you by MDH. This coverage of Southeastern Suns boys basketball is brought to you by Mudd Insurance Group and Grinnell Mutual. Contact Mudd Insurance today for all your home, auto, farm, commercial, life, health, and Medicare insurance needs. And you can live life knowing you're covered. Once again, 3:02 to go here in the first half. 26-19 the score. Justin Ellison is your idol, huh? He was less than impressed, I think, with that series there after the dunk. Dietrich pull up 3, off no good. Rebound tipped out by Bergman, I believe. Well, they're going to say it stays here. It is going to be Suns basketball. That was the right call. I agree with that. (26-19) is the score. Still 7 points here. It was 5 at the quarter break. Tippy, who's back in the game. Owen Rigg, wide open 3, right wing. Off no good, off the back iron. Stevens high for the rebound, and he puts it up and in. He's got 13 here in the first half, does Danny Stevens, and it's a 5-point game, 26-21. Shoop lost it. Rolls right to Dietrich. 3. Drake Mudd is short. Up. Shoop has it. Puts up the shot. It's blocked. Stevens is going to track it down and go back the other way with 1:45 remaining. Nobody can get there in time. He lays it up and in and counted, and a foul for Danny Stevens, and Bergman's going to pick up the foul. I think. We'll wait and see for official, but it looked like it was Bergman. It is Bergman. That'll be his second. 15 points for Stevens now, and an old-fashioned three-point play attempt coming here. He's 1 for 2 from the free throw line. Makes that one the 2-point game. We said it was a game of runs early in the game. Suns on a run now of their own. 26-24, 1:40 remaining. Robertson walks the ball up the floor very slowly for the Chargers. Spin move around, hits, dumps it over in the corner to Shoop. He's on fire, but not this time. Off no good, hits with the rebound. He's going to be on the dribble, gives it to Owen Rigg, and with 1:23, the Suns, who had trailed by as many as 10, have a chance to tie it here. 2 on the way by hits, off no good. Rebound down there was Robertson. Wesley Robertson, who's in the game, got the rebound, and Colby Robertson brings it up the floor. He's going to dump it off to Shoop. Shoop's going to drive on Mason Fry, and Shoop lost it, and then Bergman couldn't grab it. With 1:03 to go, the Suns have the basketball back and another chance to tie here or take a lead with a triple. Mason Fry in the ball game is going to walk it up the floor for the Suns as we are under 1 minute remaining here now, as Van Beck's in the game. Owen Rigg looks at the triple, doesn't take it. He's going to give it to Van Beck. Left side, Fry now. 46 seconds remaining. Owen Rigg with it. On the dribble. He puts the shot up high, arching, one-handed shot. Not a very good look. And now Stevens is going to get the foul call. A little late on the whistle, but probably a good call. It is on Danny Stevens. It'll be his first, team's 5th, and they haven't had a foul since midway through the first quarter. 38.9 seconds remaining. Both teams have 5 fouls apiece. Don't think we'll get to the bonus here for either team unless something catastrophe happens between now and the end. Robertson's going to drive, dumps it off to Dietrich. 25 seconds remaining. Now Shoop with it, 20 seconds remaining. Gives it to Robertson. They're looking for one shot, it would appear. Down in the corner to Dietrich, 15 seconds. Now to Shoop, approaching 10 seconds. They are at 10 seconds. Robertson with 6 seconds. Into the lane he goes, dumps it out, wide open. Robertson had a chance. Dietrich hits the long shot. It's off, no good. And that's how the half is going to come to a close. 26-24. It's been a game of runs, that is for sure. Sports Corner, thanks for joining us. We appreciate you. We appreciate you joining us. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back in just a couple minutes on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
After my appointment that day, I just made up my mind that I'm going to have my baby here in Macomb and this hospital, because irrespective of where you're from, who you are, it's just their line of duty to make sure they give care, make you comfortable.
I thought about the staff of MDH. They're all good. And you will get all the support you need. This is just the best place for you and your family.
All right, welcome back. We're here now with Wanda Foster, the Vice President of Nursing and Clinical Administration. Is that correct?
That's correct, yes.
Well, what we're going to talk about today is some of the opportunities that are available at MDH for students, whether they be high school students, Spoon River College students, or Western students. MDH has a lot of opportunities to be involved and to learn, right?
We absolutely do. And we look so forward to having students here. We are a clinical site for Western Illinois University and their bachelor's program for nursing, as well as for Spoon River College nursing students and others that are doing some independent study. We welcome students, and we also encourage high school students. If you would like to learn more about nursing, we would love to meet with you. And there are opportunities at the hospital also where they can apply for jobs here, for positions. So we work closely with our nursing students, and we hope to recruit them and attract them and want to come back.
I know that publicly there's been a shortcoming or a shortage of nurses, right? And I know that every hospital and every nursing home and every clinical place period is searching for nurses. So how important is it for MDH to have these groups work with them, whether it be MDH or be Spoon River College or whatever the case may be? How important is it for MDH to then recruit those nurses to stay here and work as a profession?
It's very important. We want nursing students to feel very comfortable here, to enjoy their clinical experience and their opportunities here. And then we want them to feel very comfortable, to give them a good orientation. We hire new graduates, of course, into our acute care area as well as the intensive care unit. We hire new graduates in the emergency room, in home health and hospice, in our OB department, and our surgery department. These are all areas that new graduates can come into. We certainly give them a robust orientation. No one starts on their own until they feel completely ready. They have a mentor certainly with them, and we want to give them the best start for success that we can. And then there are many areas of specialty they can choose to go into. Nursing is a very unique field. You can work full-time, you can work part-time if you need to take time off for some reason. It's a field that you can kind of step into a little bit more than maybe some other fields in healthcare. We also have scholarships available through our auxiliary, through the hospital, and then once someone is an employee here, we do have some tuition reimbursement. So we will certainly help with that.
And going back to the scholarships and the shortages that are across the board, not necessarily at MDH, but everywhere. Right? So everywhere. This is a profession that you can make a good living at and be pretty sure to have a job, right? So
absolutely.
This is a profession that high schoolers that are playing these sporting events or high schoolers that are watching these sporting events should consider, I would imagine.
Yes, very much so. You will always be assured to have a job, a career in nursing. I hate to call it just a job because you really want someone on that career path who has that passion for caring for people, for providing nursing care. Through your education and through your orientation, we can teach you your skill set. But if you have that passion and the desire to be in the nursing profession, you will do fine.
Yeah, a career and a job, while they might be listed as the same thing, they're really not. Correct. I mean, if your career is being a nurse, you're probably going to enjoy it a lot more than if it's a job, right?
That's right. And you don't go into it first and foremost for the money. You go into it because that's what you want to do with your life, and the money certainly will follow.
Yeah, and that goes for anything probably.
Yes.
But the nice thing is right now, whether the money's good or bad, there's always going to be a job.
There will.
If you can get through the schooling and you can learn to love what you're doing, there's always going to be a job for you, right?
And it's not something for high school graduates exclusively. We have many people who have made changes midlife. We have people who have retired from their career in one thing and have chosen to go into nursing. So it's open for any age, and we certainly welcome that.
And you mentioned there's different areas of expertise for nurses. People think of that for doctors, but it's really that same way for nurses, right? I mean, you can be a surgical nurse and really become a great surgical nurse, or you can become a great ICU nurse, or you can do all those things.
Yes.
But if you really want to focus on something or be at OB, which you guys have a great OB department here, if that's what you want your focus to be and you really love working with expected and new mothers and young babies, you can do that, right?
You can do that. We also have positions in our MDH physician clinic practices as well. And if you are in nursing and you can choose to specialize in a certain department, you can choose to go on and be a director or a clinical care coordinator. You can go back to school and become a nurse practitioner, become a certified registered nurse anesthetist. You can go many different directions and really as high as to whatever extent in your education you would like to pursue.
Well, Wanda, thanks for coming and talking to us. We greatly appreciate it. I know that there's probably specific places within MDH that they can reach out to, correct? Is there somewhere that they need to call if they're interested?
I would call our human resource department and start there, and then they can help direct and guide you. They can tell you about openings that we currently have. All of our current positions are listed on our MDH website, www.mdh.org. But certainly any positions for high school students, if they would like to start somewhere within the organization or volunteer experience, reach out to Human Resources and they can help direct you.
Well, again, thank you very much, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you.
Well, I've always had an interest in the medical field, and then growing up, I actually went through physical therapy myself for an injury, and that got me back to playing my sports and the activities that I loved. So seeing that firsthand, I got to see how much physical therapy could really benefit others.
Welcome back to Southeastern High School here in Augusta, Illinois. I want to thank everybody for hopping into live chat. Ian Bensinger, Sports Corner at 124. One of our huge sponsors from up in the Macomb area. If you're up there, they have. I like to fancy myself as a horseshoe and specialist. I love horseshoes, and they have one of the best, folks. If you love the horseshoe that has become popular through the years, make sure you go to the Sports Corner at 124 and get one because it is phenomenal. Unfortunately, when I'm out of town at games, I can't get there in time to get one, but I may or may not have went and got one after wrestling last Thursday night. I will neither confirm nor deny that. It's either here nor there, as they like to say. This game being brought to you tonight as we're at the half by Barkley Bills Company, a hat brand built on two staples, comfort and style, specializing in the snapback trucker-style caps. Check out the selection or consider customs to build your own business at BarkleyBillsCo.com. Don't let that hat rack fool you. Take it from me, there's always room for one more Barkley Bills Company hat. And Adams Experts, looking for top-notch local computer sales and repair services? Call Adams Experts in Quincy at 217-214-3423 for fast, friendly, and affordable assistance. We make technology work. That's Adams Experts, your go-to when your computer goes down. 1:15 remaining in the halftime, and we are ready to go with the second half. Third quarter action. We'll tell you the leading scorers were in the first half. 9 points apiece for Nolan Dietrich and Reese Shoup. 3 points for Colin Kerfman. 3 points for Drake Mudd and 2 points for Gannon Bergman. For the Suns, no surprise, leading scorer Danny Stevens with 16, 5 for Griffin Tippie, and 3 for Carter Hitz. He's 1 of 3 from the free throw line, but he hit an old-fashioned three-point play in the first half. So as I said, we're just about ready to go. Third quarter action here as we'll change the quarter to the third, and we'll reset the scoreboard. It's a 2-point lead for the Chargers. They led by 10 at one point. This has really been a game of runs here tonight, as it was 3-0 Chargers, then it ended up being 8-3 Suns, and then it was it was 13-8, and then the Chargers never really relinquished a lead, but opened it up to about, I do believe that's Ramsey Fry sitting down there. Sure if he's still playing basketball at John Wood Community College. Got to get him up here if he's going to be here watching Mason play. I miss seeing all the Fries in chat talking to me from Washington. As some conversation here about who's going to get the basketball. It should be Southeastern basketball. It should be Southeastern basketball. And they're going to give it to the Chargers, but it should be Southeastern basketball. It is. It should be. There's no jump balls. It should be Southeastern basketball. That's what I've got as well. Not that I count, but I have it Southeastern basketball as well. I have it as Southeastern basketball as well, but they're going to give it to the Chargers to start the second half. I don't know what happened to that ghost jump ball in there. I must have missed it. Dietrich. Coach Ufkus missed it as well. Dietrich's reverse layup, and Bergman all over the back of Stevens. No foul call, but Stevens comes down with it anyway as we're underway here in the third quarter. Owen Rigg. Mason Fry. Tippie. If he could have handled that quickly, he might have had a look, and I'm not sure where he was throwing that to. I think it was trying to go to Stevens, but Stevens had no chance. He was about triple teamed down there. They are really sucking in on Stevens. Wide open. Mason Fry for three. It's off, no good. Bergman with the rebound. Shoup will take it back the other way for the Chargers. They have their second possession of the quarter and look to build on a 2-point lead. Looks like the Chargers may be trying to take the air out of the basketball a little bit here, slow things down as they are. Now Robertson's going to drive, dump it out corner to Mudd. Mudd drives baseline, comes out three on the way for Shoup. It's short, tipped to Stevens. 6:50 remaining. Stevens is going to try and beat Dietrich to the hole. He loses the ball, puts it up though as he kind of just threw a hand up and got a hand on it, and it went in, and it's tied at 26. Stevens has 18. Robertson. And Griffin Tippy is going to pick up the foul. Be his second. Team's first of the second half. Three on the way from Dietrich is short. Mason Fry timed the rebound very well, and it's going to be the Suns with a chance to take a lead here. They haven't led since 8-7, and Shoup is going to pick up the foul. That'll be the first on Shoup, first on the Chargers of the second half. One foul apiece, 26 points apiece, 6:10 remaining, and this is a brand new start here for the Griffin Tippy with it. We've got about a $14-minute game of starting off here. Rigg with it. Had a blink in the camera. That's what I now. Fry, another long three. It's off, no good. Got a little blink in the camera there, folks. Sorry about that. Mudd. Shoup wide open. He got hit in a 4-point play. Rigg coming through late, and Rigg is not happy with somebody on his team as he turned around and yelled back at the rest of the team. The triple is good for Shoup. He has 12 and an old-fashioned 4-point play attempt coming here, and he hits it. 30-26. Makes it a two-possession game just that quickly. Owen Rigg picks up his third foul. Team second. And Robertson or Bergman is going to pick up the foul. It is going to give it to Bergman. That'll be his third, team second of the second half. Owen Rigg with it now. Playing with 3 fouls here with 5:05 to go in the third quarter. Griffin Tippy with the basketball. 5 minutes remaining. Tippy for 3. It rattles around and falls through. Hits both sides of the rim and the backboard, and a couple more shots at the rim, and it fell through. He's got 8. Robertson now on the dribble. Drives in. Mason Fry gets in the passing lane, steals it away, gives it off to Stevens, and a chance for the Suns to take the lead. They tied it at 26. Stevens with it. 4:10 remaining. He'll try the triple. It's off. No good. Robertson with the rebound. Owen Rigg flirting with a disaster as he's looking to guard Robertson. Nobody stops the ball, and Robertson gets the easy layup. Robertson's got 5 points. 32-29, back to a 3-point lead. Griffin Tippy, 3:40 remaining. Owen Rigg gives it off to Stevens. Stevens up top, Tippy, wide open 3, top of the key. It's off, no good. Mason Fry had been where he could have got the rebound if he'd have chased the board instead of getting back in defense. He's going to go off the floor. Hitz goes off the floor. Kaltenbach and Akers on for the Suns. 3:30 remaining third quarter, 32-29 the score. Dietrich with it for the Chargers. Picked up by Rigg. Gives it off to Mudd. Mudd pull. Oh, he lost it. Somehow it went right to Shoup. Sometimes when things are bouncing your way, they're just going your way. That's tipped around. Shoup comes down with it. Out to Dietrich, skips it over to Robertson. Robertson's going to drive. Nobody stops the ball again, and Robertson gets another easy finger roll layup. He's got 7. 3 minutes remaining. It's back to a 5-point lead. A 4-0 run for the Chargers. Owen Rigg with it. Tippy to Akers. And forcing it into Stevens. I know you want to get Stevens the basketball, and Coach Ufkus wants it to get in there, but he's getting double teamed, and a triple's coming down to him every time they get a chance to get the ball to him, and it's tipped away that time. Good defense by the Chargers, and the Suns just throwing it in to the mouth of the defense there. Shoop goes corner Robertson. Robertson's going to dump it out. Shoop 3, right wing, good. Shoop has got 16 with that triple. And a timeout on the floor, charged to the Suns. It is a full timeout. It's their second timeout of the game. We'll take one as well, and we'll be back on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH, right after this.
I went through MDH when we were trying to get pregnant. We were struggling the first year, and then when we got pregnant, I stayed at MDH and through labor and now for pediatrics. My experience was nothing short of phenomenal. I was met with amazing staff members who helped me through concerns that I had when she was first born, helping me learn how to be a new mom. It was really reassuring and comforting knowing that I had so much support and kindness around me. My entire pregnancy at MDH was amazing.
So with 2:05 to go here in the third quarter from Augusta, Illinois, Southeastern High School, the Illini West Chargers have opened up an 8-point lead with a 7-0 run. I talked about this on them several occasions throughout this game. It's been a game of runs. It was 30-29 on a Griffin Tippy triple with about 5 minutes to go or so, and it's been all Chargers since then. It is Suns basketball, though, after the timeout. Suns have 3 timeouts remaining. They've used a full and a 30. The Chargers have used a 30. Rigg gets it across for the Suns. Under 2 minutes remaining, 1:55 on the clock. Akers. Tippy. As Stevens is double teamed at the top of the key. Now to Akers. They've switched Stevens from the post on the block to try and get him at the high post now. Skipped across Rigg, out top Tippy. Now they're going to swing Stevens out, back up Tippy. Now down to Kaltenbach. Back up top Tippy. He's open, doesn't take the shot. It's a box and one now. It is a box and one from the Chargers as they've got Robertson guarding Stevens. This is what Niederman did this in the first contest. That shot's short. Akers had it come to him. He's going to give it off to Kaltenbach on the rebound. It was a short 3 attempt by Stevens. Out to Tippy. 1:05 remaining. Rigg has it now as we approach the 1 minute mark. The Suns down low to Tippy, and he gets the bucket. A nice look from Akers to Tippy, and the Suns stop the run, and Tippy gets his 10th point. Dietrich's going to try and drive on Rigg, dumps it out Shoop. Shoop is on fire tonight. He's got 16 points to lead the Chargers. Robertson's going to drive on Akers, pump fake out to Shoop for 3. It's off left. And Tippy's going to track down the rebound. Gets it to Stevens. Stevens is going to outlet it down the floor to Kaltenbach, but Dietrich, the golfer, playing a little defensive back there as he comes and steals it away on the pass. Robertson goes up over Stevens. He gives up a foot, and Colby Robertson gets the bucket to fall. He's got 9. Dietrich, who are they going to give this foul to? Going to be on Bergman's going to pick up the foul. That'll be his 4th if that's the case. It is on Bergman. He's got 4. Team's got 3 in the second half. Colby Robertson, no fear as he's guarding Stevens on a box and one, and he goes up against him and lays just a floater up over the top, and it's a 39-31 lead. Shots off, no good for Kaltenbach. Tipped in by Stevens, and the basket is good at the buzzer. And it'll be 39-33 to end the third quarter, and that's how we will head to the final 8 minutes. We were tied at 26-26 with 6 minutes to go in the third quarter, and the Chargers kind of took control. The Suns have tried to answer back a little bit here. 18 points for Stevens, 10 for Tippy, 3 for Hits, and that's all the scores for the Suns tonight. For the Chargers, as we head to the final stanza, 16 points for Reese Shoup to lead the Chargers, 9 points for Colby Robertson, 9 points for Nolan Dietrich, 3 points for Drake Mudd, and 2 points for Cannon Bergman. Bergman, with about 15 seconds in the quarter, picked up his 4th foul, so that is huge, as he's got 35 with 4 fouls at the end of the third quarter. See if that changes anything. They are playing a box and one to end the quarter. We'll see if they come out in that again. The Suns finally got back in the scoring column when they came out with that. The Suns have struggled more against the 1-3-1. This is going to be Suns basketball this time. Mason Fry to inbound. And it is still the box and one. As you remember, if you were listening to our Wednesday broadcast of Southeastern and Unity, as Coach Dahl got on, we had Brian Sullivan, a local, very well-respected official, was on a broadcast with us as well, and Coach Dahl was talking about the shorter player guarding a taller player in a box and one, and it's actually having somebody low on you like that is very difficult, according to Coach Dahl. And Robertson is chasing Stevens around everywhere. Hits with it now. Mason Fry to Tippy. Back to Fry. Tippy now is going to try and come to the corner against the box and one. Carter Hits with it now. Down the corner, Owen Rigg. Skips it across to Mason Fry. Out top, Tippy. And they're trying a 30-second timeout. Charge to the Suns. They'll have 2 timeouts remaining. Both of them will be full timeouts. No points scored yet here in the fourth quarter. This game is being brought to you tonight by Mudd Insurance Group. Thank you for tuning in to TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. This coverage of Southeastern Suns boys basketball, brought to you by Mudd Insurance Group and Grinnell Mutual. Contact Mudd Insurance today for all your home, auto, farm, commercial, and life, health, and Medicare insurance needs. And live life knowing you are covered. Devin Raleigh sitting right down here in front of me, one of the officials in tonight's contest. I was giving him a bit of a hard time before the game started. Of course, I always give Devin a hard time if you hear our broadcasts. Owen Rigg. Carter Hits. Mason Fry. Carter Hits. Trying to decide what offense they're trying to make happen here against this box and one, as the Suns are struggling mightily. They're keeping the basketball, but they're down by 6 points. Nobody's scored yet here. Griffin Tippy, as Wesley Robertson's in the ball game, skips it up, and then Dietrich steals it away. He's going to dump it off. Shoup, I believe it is. Shoup gets the bucket. He's got 18. 8-point lead, 41-33. Owen Rigg. Mason Fry, 8-foot jumper, off no good. Hits, had the rebound. Stevens got it. He puts it back up and in off his miss. Folks, I'm no basketball coach, but it seems to me the Suns need to force the issue which just seems every time they force an issue, it allows Stevens, even if they miss, to get a rebound and get something going. They are having a hard time trying to find him the basketball. They're working too hard to force it to him without a first move to the basket. That could have been a travel. Seems to me that the Chargers are doing a great job on him with first pass. They're denying him the basketball, and they're doing such a great job of it. We've said it on numerous occasions. The Suns are going to have to find somebody else to step up, and they're too content right now, I think, to force the basketball into Stevens. We approach the 5-minute mark, and the Chargers in no hurry to shoot the basketball here. Mudd gives it to Dietrich. Clear out near half court. This is where this right here, folks. There's Robertson's going to drive. Now he picks it up and gives it to Mudd. Mudd now is going to drive. He dumps out. Nope. Looks down the baseline to Wesley Robertson out to Shoop. Shoop now on the dribble. This is why people are wanting a shot clock right here, folks, as we are at 4:35 remaining. The Chargers have had the basketball for about 45 seconds here and really haven't made a real solid attempt to go to the basket even. Robertson's going to do it, but he's going to pull up, dump it out to Dietrich again. He just shakes off the 5-second dribble, and then he gives it away. Down to 4:15 as Owen Rigg now tries to knock it away, and Owen Rigg's going to pick up his 4th foul. He's got 4. The team's got 3. I'm sorry, folks. It is the 4th quarter. I forgot to push the 4th quarter button earlier. Robertson runs all the way into the backcourt to go get the basketball. Griffin Tippy doesn't even bother to go get him. Lets him walk it up the floor very slowly. Again, when you're up by 6 points, no real reason to hustle here or force anything. Stevens now comes out on the floor, out on the top of a zone, it would appear here for the Suns. If it's a man or a Robertson is going to get called for a travel. But, man, he goes right at Stevens. Colby Robertson, if you are a fan of Chargers basketball, you have to like watching this kid play. He goes right to it. He's only a junior. He'll be back next year. And I'll tell you what, folks, he has no fear when it comes to driving into the lane. Got called for a travel that time. He wasn't happy with the call. Now Dietrich is going to pick up the foul on a cheap one as he picks up his 3rd, team's 4th. But Colby Robertson is no fear when it goes into the lane. He's guarding Stevens on the offensive or defensive end for the Chargers, and he just goes right at him in the offensive end. He's thrown one up over the top of him for a layup, and he got that one to fall, but he gets called for the travel. That time a little better motion with Stevens, and Stevens gets a bucket to fall. He's got 22, and it's down to 4, 41-37. 3:15 remaining. Robertson gets fouled by Tippy. Griffin Tippy is going to pick up the foul. That'll be team foul number 4 for the Suns. Foul number 3 on Tippy. 3:12 remaining. Dietrich wide open 3. He hasn't hit one since early in the game, and he missed that one. Tippy can't control it, and Robertson's going to get it, but then lose it out of bounds. Tippy thought he had it, then he lost it. Robertson thought he had it, then he lost it out of bounds. Folks, if you have young kids who play basketball and think that they can't do something because of their size or against who they're playing, you need to let them watch this game. Colby Robertson guarding Stevens like right here. Carter hits now with it. He shows no fear at all. I know I've talked about him a lot, but you guys watch number 2 follow number 23 around. It is amazing. Even if you're not watching the basketball, just watch him away from the basketball. Now he's got Stevens with the basketball. Tries to spin, can't get away from him. Carter hits now with it. Looks at the triple, doesn't take it. Gives it off to Stevens. 2:25 remaining, and Robertson knocked that away. Bergman, who's back in the game with 4 fouls, outlets it to Dietrich. Dietrich has it stolen away by Stone King, who saves it into Akers to Stevens. Stevens and Robertson, who came up to try to get the steal, just fouled Stevens with the hold. Colby Robertson, amazingly enough, that's his first foul, but it's team foul number 5 for the Suns. For the Chargers, excuse me. Owen Rigg with 2:05 remaining. There's not been a lot of offense here in this quarter. Both teams have taken the air out of the basketball pretty much. Carter hits up to Akers. Akers from the free throw line. It's off, no good. Rebound to Stone King. Gives it back to Akers, out to Rigg, down low. Looking for Stevens. Stevens going to try and drive. Comes up top, Rigg. Rigg now skips down to the corner to Hits. Hits pump fake, drives. Dumps it out, Akers. Akers for 2. It's a 2. It's a 2. It's a 2, folks. It's a 2. Devin Raleigh all over that. Called it a 2 instantly. But Akers gets his first 2 of the night. And it's a 2-point game. 41-39, 1:21 remaining. Colby Robertson backs out. Stone King on him with 1:10 remaining. Going to have to foul here sometime to get the ball back. They don't have to shoot. Drake Mudd gives it to Dietrich. Now to Robertson. Rigg can't foul. He's got 4. Now out to Drake Mudd. Under a minute to go now. 55 seconds remaining. Stone King's going to come out, tries to foul, and he is going to foul Dietrich, but that's probably not the player they wanted to foul. They would have rather fouled Drake Mudd, I think. Now they're not shooting yet anyway. Colby Robertson now in the backcourt. He's going to run the 10 seconds off. The Suns still have a foul to give, and now they're going to take another foul here. It's foul number 6. Second one on Stone King. Coach Efkes and the official having a word here. Make that foul it's number 6. Griffin Tippy checking in. Stone King taking a seat. 5 of each. We'll set the floor for you. It's Mudd, Dietrich, Bergman, Shoup, and Robertson of the Colby variety on the floor for the Chargers. Rigg, Tippy, Stevens, Hits, and Akers on the floor for the Suns. The Suns trail by 2, and it's going to be off of Dietrich, out of bounds. Griffin Tippy tips it off of Dietrich, and with 34.9 seconds left, the Suns get the basketball back. But Colby Robertson is right back there in the face of Stevens, and the Suns are going to take a timeout. 1 timeout will be remaining for the Suns. We'll take a break and be back on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH, in just about 30 seconds.
I went through MDH when we were trying to get pregnant. We were struggling the first year, and then when we got pregnant, I stayed at MDH and through labor and now for pediatrics. My experience was nothing short of phenomenal. I was met with amazing staff members who helped me through concerns that I had when she was first born, helping me learn how to be a new mom. It was really reassuring and comforting knowing that I had so much support and kindness around me. My entire pregnancy at MDH was amazing.
And welcome back to Augusta, Illinois, Southeastern High School. This is TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. I'm Dwayne Hulett. Evan Wagner on the camera tonight. Sarah Robertson, he deserves everything I've said about him. He is playing a great game tonight, no doubt about it. But this is, we're going to set the court for you, folks. 41-39, 34.9 seconds remain. The Suns, the Chargers are in the bonus the rest of the way. Suns are 1 foul away from the bonus, as the Chargers only have 5. But the Suns have the basketball. Dietrich now is going to go up and guard Stevens as he gives it to Rigg. Looks like it's going to be a straight man now. No, it's going to be a steal on an in as Rigg throws a lackadaisical pass to Akers, and Akers is going to have to foul Shoup, and that's probably not the player you want, and Owen Rigg makes a pass that's going to haunt him for the rest of the night. I'll guarantee you that. And Shoup at the free throw line shooting the one in bonus. 7 team fouls. Akers picks up the foul. That's his second. 1 in bonus for Shoup. The first one is big. The second one's bigger. First one is good. He's got 19. A chance to make it a 2-possession game here. For some reason, it was the 39 never showed up on the Suns scoreboard. It is 42-39. Second one's off, no good. A chance to tie as it's going to be 20 seconds, make it 18. Down in the corner, Tippy doesn't take the triple. Stevens with it now. He's got to take the three. It's a three on the way. It's off, no good. Rebound, hits. And a timeout with 8.8 seconds remaining. 8.8 seconds left, and Hitz got the rebound on the Stevens three-point miss. And that was very close to being a 2, but Stevens was ruled a 3 in the air. Stevens has 24 points. Griffin Tippy has 10. Carter Hitz has 3. And Aiden Akers has 2. 19 for the Chargers. Reese Shoup. 9 points for Colby Robertson. 9 points for Nolan Dietrich. 3 points for Drake Mudd and 2 points for Cannon Bergman. Bergman has played with 4 fouls the entire fourth quarter. He's done a great job for the Chargers. But the Suns, a chance to send this one to overtime. They can't take a lead. They can only tie it, but they're going to have to look for a 3. Owen Rigg's going to inbound. We'll see now as the Suns have taken their final timeout. We'll see if the Chargers see the setup and take a timeout of their own, which Coach Ellison does down on the far end. Doesn't look like he's going to do that. Here it is. This is the game, folks. 8.8 seconds remaining. Hits. Has it. He's wide open. Doesn't take the shot. Stevens now gives it to Tippy. Tippy for 3. No good. It's tipped up and it's going to fall, but it's going to be 1.2 short as Carter hits his tip, goes in. He'll finish with 5 points, but the final score is going to be 42-41. Chargers get the win here at Southeastern High School. Tippy had a pretty decent look at the buzzer. Couldn't get it to fall, though, and the Chargers redeemed themselves from a Hancock County tournament loss last week to get a 42-41 win here in Augusta tonight. We'll take a quick break, and we'll come back with some finishing stats here from Augusta High School. Again, the final 42-41. The Chargers get the win over the host Suns in a rematch from last week's Hancock County tournament. We'll be right back in just a couple minutes.
After my appointment that day, I just made up my mind that I'm going to have my baby here in Macomb and this hospital, because irrespective of where you're from, who you are, it's just their line of duty to make sure they give care, make you comfortable.
I thought about the staff of MDH. They're all good. And you will get all the support you need. This is just the best place for you and your family.
Well, I've always had an interest in the medical field, and then growing up, I actually went through physical therapy myself for an injury, and that got me back to playing my sports and the activities that I loved. So seeing that firsthand, I got to see how much physical therapy could really benefit others.
I see acute injuries on the field. I see ankle sprains. I see ACL knee injuries, as well as in the clinic. It's very rewarding to see them from on-the-field injury to rehab to transition back to their event.
I went through MDH when we were trying to get pregnant. We were struggling the first year, and then when we got pregnant, I stayed at MDH and through labor and now for pediatrics. My experience was nothing short of phenomenal. I was met with amazing staff members who helped me through concerns that I had when she was first born, helping me learn how to be a new mom. It was really reassuring and comforting knowing that I had so much support and kindness around me. My entire pregnancy at MDH was amazing.
And welcome back here for the final time tonight to Southeastern High School. Again, the final 42-41. The Suns get the loss, and we're going to have a special guest here in a couple minutes. But we're going to tell you the final stats here, at least as I have them anyway. 19 points for Reese Shoup for the Chargers to lead the Chargers. He's the only Charger in double figures, actually. But they did have a couple players with 9. Colby Robertson had 9 points. He was 1 of 2 from the free throw line. 9 points for Nolan Dietrich as well. And 3 points for Drake Mudd and 2 points for Gannon Bergman. For the Suns, 24 points to lead all scorers for Danny Stevens. 10 points for Griffin Tippie. 5 points for Carter Hitz and 2 points for Aiden Akers. The not very many free throws shot tonight, folks, I'm telling you. The Chargers were 3 of 5 from the free throw line. The Suns just 3 of 6 from the charity stripe in the ball game. We have a special guest on us. Here you go. Hold on to that. Tell everybody what your name is.
Hello, my name is Paige Johnson, and this is my first interview.
It is your first interview. You are the basketball manager, correct?
Correct.
So what's that entail for all the folks at home?
Well, do you want to know my job description?
Yeah, what's your job description? Do you keep stats or anything, or do you do water and that kind of stuff, or what do you do?
I do the water. I give them towels. Sometimes I even do laundry. I fill up the waters, even at practice. And I try to go to all the games and all the practices.
So what is it why do you feel like it's a fun thing or an important thing to be the manager and help the team out?
Well, I always really appreciated it, and when Coach offered me a spot on the team, I felt really honored. I've always been into basketball. I even played a little when I was in 5th grade, and it's just been a really cool thing for me.
So are you in high school? You're in high school, right?
Yes, correct.
So this is your first year doing it?
Yes, sir.
Are you a senior, junior, freshman?
I am a junior.
So you're going to do it next year again, hopefully?
Yeah.
All
but
right.
Of course we won't have Dan this time, which is really sad.
Yeah, Danny's a pretty good ball player, isn't he?
Yes, he's a nice kid too.
Yeah, it's I'm sure you get to know these kids quite a bit, don't you, from helping them out and handing them towels and stuff?
Correct.
So does that give you a better sense of being part of the team when you're able to do that kind of stuff?
Yeah. We bond as a team. We bond in class, outside of class, all of that.
Well, I appreciate you coming up here and talking.
Yes, I appreciate this.
And thank you for doing everything you do. I was a track manager in junior high, so it's an unsung hero position. I'll guarantee you. You do a lot of work that people don't see behind the scenes. So, thank you for doing that. I know Coach Ufkus and all the crew enjoy having you and appreciate what you do.
Yes, thank you.
No problem.
If you ever want to do another one.
Okay. So that will have an interview. I want to thank her for coming up here and talking to us about the manager, and that's something, folks, in all seriousness, is a lot of teams can't find managers now, but it's such an integral part of what goes on in high school sports, being a part of a team, whether you're playing or managing or assistant coaching or whatever the case may be. So if you have a kid that doesn't want to play or don't think they can play but wants to take part in a team, try to get them to be a manager. They are a part of the team, and it's a great experience. I'll let you, as I said, I was a track manager back in junior high, so I understand that. So, well, that'll do it here from Southeastern High School. The final score, 42-41. Chargers get the win over the Southeastern Suns. Very busy night coming to a close here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. We had broadcasts from Macomb High Wrestling. We had West Prairie and Bushnell playing each other at West Prairie for girls and boys varsity basketball tonight. We had A-Town playing tonight as well, and, of course, we were here for Southeastern. So thanks for joining us here, as we'll be back again very soon. We've got games every day or night this week. Not as many as tonight, but we've got at least one thing the rest of the week. So please subscribe to our Hulett PubliPro LLC YouTube channel. Check out some of the best athletes in the area playing in all types of sporting events. And you can also check out some other sports as well, racing and things of that nature also. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Dwayne Hulett for Evan Wagner. We'll talk to you again very soon. Again, the final from Southeastern High School, 42-41. Illini West gets the win over the Suns. We'll see you again very soon.